Hello, my name is Heather Christopher, Technical Trainer for the Employee Training Department. This short tutorial demonstrates how to set up security features in Acrobat 11. You can limit access to a PDF by setting passwords and by restricting certain features, such as printing and editing. However, you cannot restrict saving copies of a PDF. The copies have the same restrictions as the original PDF. There are two types of passwords. First, we will go over document open password, also known as a user password, which requires a user to type a password to open the PDF. You can select encrypt only file attachments, which are also known as security envelopes. An example of this would be the direct deposit information PDF that C&M employees receive from payroll as an email attachment. Please note, you cannot add passwords to a signed or certified document. The second type of password is the permissions password, also known as a master password, which requires a password to change the permission settings. Using a permissions password, you can restrict printing, editing, and copying content in the PDF. Recipients don't need a password to open the document in Reader or Acrobat. They do need a password to change the restrictions you've set. If the PDF is secured with both types of passwords, it can be opened with either password. However, only the permissions password allows the user to change the restricted features. Because of this added security, setting both types of passwords is often beneficial. I will now demonstrate how to set up both types of passwords. Now I will demonstrate how to set a document open or user password. After this is set up, the user must enter a password to open a PDF. To start out, we will open an existing PDF and scroll over and click Tools. Under Protection, click Encrypt and choose Encrypt with Password. If you receive a prompt, click Yes to change the security. Select Require a Password to open the document, then type the password in the corresponding field. For each keystroke, the password strength meter evaluates the password and indicates the password strength using color patterns. We will leave the compatibility set to Acrobat 7 or later. We will quickly go over the encryption options. Encrypt all document contents is exactly what it sounds like, and this is what we will choose for our video. Encrypt all document contents except metadata. This encrypts the contents of the document, but it still allows search engines to access the document metadata. Encrypt only file attachments. This requires a password to open file attachments. Users can open the document without a password. Use this option to create security envelopes. Finally, we will click OK, and at the prompt to confirm the password, retype the appropriate password in the box and click OK. Then click OK again. Please keep in mind that you must save the PDF for the settings to be saved. Next, I will demonstrate how to set a permissions password. When this is set up, you can prevent users from editing, printing, or copying content in a PDF. You can change these restrictions only if you know the permissions password. To open a restricted PDF in these applications, such as copying content or editing, the user must enter the permissions password. We have opened a PDF. Now we will click Tools, select the Protection panel, click Encrypt, then click Encrypt with Password. If you receive a prompt, click Yes to change the password. Select Restrict editing and printing of the document. All Adobe products enforce the restrictions set by a permissions password. However, if a third-party product does not support these settings, document recipients are able to bypass some or all of the restrictions you set. Now I will type in the password in the corresponding field. Now we will select what the user can print from the Printing Allowed menu. The choices are None, which prevents the user from printing the document, Low Resolution, or High Resolution. I do not want my users to print, so I'm going to select None. Next, we will select what the user can change from the Changes Allowed menu. The first option is None. This prevents the user from making any changes to the document that are listed in the Changes Allowed menu, such as filling in form fields and adding comments. The second option is Inserting, deleting, or rotating pages. This allows the user to insert, delete, and rotate pages and create bookmarks and thumbnails. Filling in form fields and signing existing signature fields allows the user to fill in forms and add digital signatures. This option does not allow them to add comments or create form fields. Commenting, filling in form fields, and signing existing signature fields allows the user to add comments and digital signatures and fill in forms. This option doesn't allow the user to move page objects or create form fields. The last option is any except extracting pages. This allows the user to edit the document, fill and create in form fields, and add comments and digital signatures. I am going to select filling in form fields and signing existing signature fields. There are two other options to consider. Enabling copying of text, images, or other content. This allows users to select and copy the contents of a PDF. I'm going to leave that unchecked. Enable text access for screen reader devices for visually impaired. This allows visually impaired users to read the document with screen readers, but it doesn't allow the users to copy or extract the contents. I always leave this checked. At last, we will click OK. At the prompt to confirm the password, we will retype the appropriate password in the box and click OK. Please remember to save the PDF to save the changes. Back to the document, we can see the changes we've made by clicking the log, then selecting Permission Details. Under the Security tab, we can review the details, then click OK to close. If you forget a password, you cannot recover it from a PDF. Consider keeping a backup copy of the PDF that isn't password protected. Now we will go over how to remove password security. With the PDF open, go to Tools, click the Protection panel, select Encrypt, and then select Remove Security. Your options may vary depending on the type of password security attached to the document. If the document had only a document open password, click OK to remove it. If the document had a permissions password, you'll need to type in the password and then click OK. Click OK again to confirm. Now you are more familiar with security settings in Acrobat 11 by setting document open and permissions passwords. The Employee Training Department is preparing just-in-time training videos for other technical applications. If you'd like to view the videos, go to our technical training website. If you have any questions, please contact the Employee Training Department at 224-3070. Thank you.